Hey guys, we're back for more standard climbing for the last 3 days here before the end of the month. We're currently at rank 505, and I actually changed the deck. I changed over to mono white aggro, and it's kind of a little different than your regular mono white aggro. So let me just go over the deck briefly. So 1-drops, we have Hopeful Initiate and Usher the Fallen. Usher the Fallen, not as good as Hopeful Initiate, but still fine, kind of gets the job done. And that's kind of why you've got just 3 of the Usher. It's okay. We need a 1-drop. So anyways, I think a lot of lists run like 4 of each, but I think 4 and 3 is fine. There's sort of nothing else I want to run in my 1 slot. 2-drops, we have Intrepid Adversary, just to buff up our team, get some lifelink going, and then Luminarch Aspirant, again, one of the best 2-drops in Standard. Professor of Symbology. So this one is, I was kind of playing around with something that just gave us a little bit more value. Again, a 2/1 for 2, not very impressive, but it does go and fetch us a lesson here from our sideboard. So in the sideboard, we have 3 Legion Angels, because we're running that in the main also. And then for the 4 lesson slots, I've got Mascot Exhibition, kind of our finisher. If we're heavy on land, we have Spirit Summoning, just kind of create a vanilla 3/2 the next turn. Reduce to Memory in order to get rid of whatever non-land permanent we can't deal with. It's not perfect, it does give them a 3/2, so it's not amazing, but it gets the job done. And then we've got Environmental Sciences if we're stuck on 2 land. So anyways, I'll come back to Professor of Symbology here in a minute, but I wanted to try something with a little bit more value, and it also ties in with kind of the MVP of this deck here, which we'll get to in a second. Okay, also 3 Talia, Guardian of Thraben. Yeah, I basically crafted this deck so that we don't have any non-creature spells, and there are a lot of decks that this is a huge thorn in the side of, so very happy to be running 3 Thalia. In our 3-drops, we have 4 Brew Cathar, 4 Skyclave Apparition, basically our removal slots, while we're still building board presence. And then 3 Adeline. Adeline is just fantastic. It's just so powerful, especially when I've seen it on the other side of the board. It's just so terrifying when they drop an Adeline. So I do want a 3-of for this. They will definitely try to kill it immediately, and then if you have another one to replace it, it's just fine. So, but the MVP that this deck is kind of all centering around is Extraction Specialist. Now, I ran against another white weenie deck that was running this, and I thought it was very interesting. And I don't know the name of the player or the deck constructor who was running it, but anyways, Extraction Specialist returns a creature card of mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield when it comes into play, and it can't attack or block for as long as you control Extraction Specialist. So number 1, this has lifelink on it, so we now have 8 creatures in our deck with lifelink, which is really great, especially when you're going up against Boros Aggro, which is the number 1 deck in the field right now. And I was finding that a lot of Boros mirrors were just really decided on who won the die roll, plain and simple. So this gives us a lot of game against decks that are trying to just beat us with damage. And it also gives us some extra value against the control decks. So when we're looking at the cards that we're bringing back with Extraction Specialist, we have a couple kind of mini combos. So if you bring it back with Luminarch Aspirant, this is like the primary target you want to go for. It's just amazing. So you immediately get the benefit every turn. It doesn't even have to be able to attack or block to do anything. This is fantastic. So getting this back is a really, really nasty 1-2 punch. But then if you get back Adversary, so if you happen to have 5 mana when you play Extraction Specialist. This will come back into play, and then you'll actually have the ability to trigger the adversary, so that you can pump up your entire team again. It's really silly. If you, especially if you have like more than five mana, like 7, or God forbid you have more than that, it can get really out of hand. So very good Intrepid Adversary. And again, just keep on presenting lifelink creatures against Boros is really, really tough for it. This is where kind of I thought about running Professor of Symbology, or I think it's Rafine's, is it Attendant? I can't remember. There's a 2/1 guy that basically connives when he comes into play, so it could be a 3/2. And it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But I kind of like Professor of Symbology a little bit more because it allowed us to sort of mini tutor from our sideboard to find out whatever we needed to deal with the current situation. So again, just getting this to, first you play it, you get whatever spell you need, and then you bring it back and do it again. And so pretty powerful, I think. Also just being able to pull back Thalia and just have Thalia's effect, even if Thalia can't attack or block, can be really backbreaking for like the red-blue Izzet decks, Teamer, the decks that are trying to get to 7 mana for, various different big spells. Yeah, so it's just a really good interaction. It gives us a lot more value. And then we have the singleton of Legion Angel, because again, it's just such a great inclusion here where you can get 3 more copies from the board. For a land, pretty standard. We have 2 Cave of the Frost Dragon, 1 Iganjo, and 2 Crawling Barrens. We have a little bit more leeway here, just being monocolor. I could go up to 3 Cave and 3 Crawling Barrens, but I found over many, many games that for consistency, really 2 feels about right, especially since we have all of this double white on turn 3. But I did include 4 Emeria's Calls, and I think this is justified because we have 8 creatures in our deck that are lifelink, and so the extra damage that we're taking from these Emeria's Calls is really not that big of a deal. So anyways, this is the deck. Let's get into some games. Okay, actually, let's see. Oh, I think we need to actually go into ranked play here. 1 second. Okay, so we've got 3 mana here. Great opener. We have 1, 2, 3. So very happy with this keep. There's also a lot of spots where you can just drop the Emeria into play tapped and it's just fine. Because with only 7 1-drops, you'll be able to put it into play tapped the majority of the time, actually. Now, minor note there, I guess I didn't have a 2-drop, so I could have led with Usher the Fallen for the extra point of damage. So that's worth noting. And then here I'm happy to drop. So we're up against Boros Aggro. And again, this has the biggest metagame share at the moment, I think. Maybe right after this is Hinata Jeskai, I want to say. But we can play very defensive against this deck, and just our deck has better endgame than their deck. Here I don't mind just getting Adeline out there. better to get the momentum going, and then we can follow up with Skyclave or whatever. So they're offering basically the trade for Play with Fire. It's worth knowing that they have that, partially because when we Skyclave it, they'll just get it back. But we're not going to block here. Adeline is definitely too much of a threat. They could have just been finessing it. I mean, they have no downside if we block, but I don't want to lose Adeline here, so I'm willing to take the damage. Four is also a really great magic number against Boros. They can't really deal 4 damage. Now, if they offer the trade, I'm happy to make it. We've got a backup Adeline. No problem here. And I think maybe definitely Brutal Cathar, their guy. I just don't really care. I think I just want to get, well, do I want Luminarch going? I guess for efficiency, it's probably easier to just get Cathar here for the token. That's fine. It pushes some extra damage here too, so I'm fine with it. And then we still have Skyclave back up. Okay, they're still representing more damage here, so I could trade here. I really don't feel like I have to. I'm high enough life, and we have enough pressure on them that it's just fine to sort of ignore that. I guess we could have just not blocked and just killed them, but it's sort of over. They don't really have anywhere they can go from that. Okay, looks like we are in for a mirror match here. And here we're happy to trade because, again, we can just recur whatever they kill with our extraction specialist. Unfortunately, it does have to hit the yard, so if they have, like, Brutal Cathar, it's not amazing. But we are happy to, like, literally trade with Usher of the Fallen if he gives us that option. Like this is so busted. Like the value here is it's just filthy. Yeah, then I'll just run another one out here because we are definitely still racing. So even though we're not getting extra value here, that's okay. We could run it out like post-combat after attacking, but whatever. We can still do that, actually. So here we get like, I guess we can make this a 2-2 and shove. I think, like I don't super care. It's probably better because like if they have Cathar, you know, let's see, maybe it's better to just make this a 2-2. And then I think we just sit. So in case they like Cathar one of our guys, then we still have blocks. We do want to eventually start racing here, but this just kind of just plays a little around Cathar. Okay, that was a nice pickup. And I think we sit back with our aspirant here. Yeah, we'll take it. I guess now we just Skyclave their Spellbinder. That feels pretty good. And then we make everything a 4 power. This just feels pretty wretched. Yeah. Okay, so we're up against Teamer, Titan of Industry. I think we actually have to get the Luminar going here, unfortunately. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so I guess let's run out extraction specialist here. Okay, so I guess let's Cathar the tracker. We're just trying to beat Titan of Industry before it shows up. Is it worth saving? I guess we could just use a Ganjo. How do we want to do this? We want to go, I think, get rid of this, make this a 4/4, make that a 4/3, then it trades a specialist, and that's okay. I think that's fine. Yeah, I mean, okay. Yeah, so I guess we make this, like, he can trade with specialist is the problem. It's not great. Otherwise, we just make this a 5/5 and try to push. But I think we have to kind of get going here. Try to push as much damage as we can. So maybe we make this a 5/5 instead to push extra damage. That might have been better. Yeah, there's the Titan. That was the problem, is it like, do we save? We maybe should have saved Cathar for Titan and then try to like a Ganjo last turn. That actually might have been better. I think it's okay though. Like, we play Thalia. Or actually, I think we let Cathar flip. So we just go. Let's see, we can even get rid of this thing with Hopeful Initiate. How do we want to do this? I think we make this a 6/6, so we start getting ready to deal with Titan. And I think we sit. Okay, now I think we get rid of the likeness of the Seeker. Okay, I guess that works. Can use that to get rid of Titan. And then we can also play Thalia and then eat the token. That seems pretty good. Oh, never mind. We can't eat the Titan, that's right. We can eat the Cultivator. And then we play Thalia here. And then I think we sit, we make this an 8/8, just in case. I suppose we could start building up another creature. So, well, because we can make this an 8/8 next turn. Doesn't really matter, I suppose. I guess we'll make this an 8/8. It's fine. So we could get rid of Titan here. The problem is, I think it's better just to get rid of the token, because since we can start pushing past Titan. Okay, next Cultivator. Sure, whatever. Okay. So now we can use Iganjo to kill the 3/4. You can use the 8/8 to start pushing. So we can start building up another creature or just present a 10/10. I kind of like presenting the 10/10. Or I guess if we attack with everything. Let's see. Block, block. Start spreading out the damage a little bit. I think maybe not quite yet. Okay. Now we get to get him with the Iganjo. I guess he gets another Titan, or doesn't find one. Okay. That works too. So I think I'm just going to do one more because I was driving all day and still want to get a chance to go to the gym and go rock climbing. But let's try to get one more game in. Okay, Orzhov would possibly like Rafine Esper. This is a deck that has quite a bit of value also. But I like where we are on value. And again, I do want to make the Aspirant a 2/2. Even though they're probably going to kill it, but think I do. I guess I could make the initiative a 2/3. I don't know. So I think I just want Adeline here. I guess we could go like Professor of Symbology for the extra land to get Angel going. Problem is like we're not attacking with Adeline, not yet, but I think Adeline is still fine. Guess I could double spell here. I feel like we're about to walk into a Meat Cleaver Massacre, so that's not as great. I think I'm just going to go Angel here. Keep the toughness as high as I can. Like even if he meat cleavers for like the whole way, it's okay. What does this guy do again? Okay. So that's worth Skyclave Apparitioning. But I think we want to stay ahead of him for... So he can do a 4-point right now. And I guess he can get 5 with the Ghast, so it's not amazing. Like I can make the Angel a little bigger here, but it's not super relevant. I think instead, we could go like Professor Symbology, get some more land going, or we could just play another Angel. I think actually I want the extra land. I want to develop a little bit here. Let's, because he's definitely like looking to set up like a big Meat Cleaver Massacre. And like there's no reason to just walk into it. Like we ideally want to use this like after he wipes the board, because it's just so much worse if he just gets the extra free guy. So I think now, like we could play super conservative here and start like pumping up Crawling Barrens. That actually might be kind of interesting. That might be too conservative. I also like kind of going Professor of Symbology here to get more, to get like the 7-drop, whatever it's called. We could start pumping up toughness, but I think actually I'm just fine. Let's shove in and see what he does. Okay, he's going teaching. It's interesting. I mean, okay. If he wants to go that route. I guess we can drop Professor. And then still do Barons at the end of his turn. I think I'm okay with that. Like, we are kind of walking into stuff here, but again, I think it's a good setup. We don't want to get too low because he can drain us out, but okay, so now he's going for it. Okay, that was a pretty great draw. We can get Luminarch back. So I think here we go Luminarch, or we get Luminarch back. And we also go Skyclave and get rid of this thing. Now it's worth considering to Skyclave the Massacre, but I think we just want to get rid of Aggro here. He's also annoying. Yes, he might have the double Massacre here, or Invoke Despair, sure. Guess we could lose the Aspirant. It's probably fine. And he probably has removal for our Extraction Specialist now. So I think we go Adeline Luminarch here. And we definitely go Toughness on Adeline. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, he's got us covered anyways, but I think it's still right to try for it. I guess if he has the removal for Adeline, then we get to have some life gain here. Oh, I shouldn't have it. Oh, that was silly. Never mind. He can now kill this and use that to block the Specialist. And oh well. I guess he didn't do it, but he could have. Although we needed the life gain, so don't really have a good answer for it. So he's got another Meat Cleaver Massacre. It's awful, but we can't really do much about it. He's definitely drawn enough cards to have another one. Invoke, sure. Sorin, It's kind of interesting. Okay. Can we threaten lethal? So if we make this a 3/3, activate Crawling Barrens. I actually kind of like this. So we activate Barrens. Make this a 3/3. And then if we send with everybody, he probably kills Luminarch Aspirant, but can he afford to block? So he goes to 14. We hit him with, this will be 7, 8 with the 1/1. 11, no, he's just dead. Unless, okay, if he blocks here, then he takes 1, 2, 5, 9. Yeah, he's dead. Or no, he goes to 1, excuse me. I think it's still right to push here. I guess the question is, do we try to kill Count Dracula? And then I think we hold this for another land. I think that's right. And I guess now we can still threaten lethal with our Crawling Barrens if he pushes for like a big meat hook. Although he can also make another token of Sorin. So he has to meat hook for at least, oh, okay, still involved, sure. Don't think that's good enough.
Not my way. You can deal with my servant.
Okay. Underdog, and then he's representing removal for our apparition. So, okay. I think we use Cathar to get rid of the lifelink. So how does this look? Yeah, so we go Cathar. Gets rid of the lifelinker. Now, if we attack with everyone, and he kills this and has an extra blocker, he has 4 blockers to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we still kill him. This doesn't really matter. Just put it here. Literally doesn't matter. Yeah, okay. And there it is. So I think we went 4-0. 3 over 4-0, something like that. Anyways, thanks guys for watching. I really like this deck. It's performing really well. I'm going to jump into the deck again one more time so you can look at it. So, anyways, hopefully we can ride it all the way to the top 250 over the next day and a half or whatever. But see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.